Hi guys. The DUP, or as the comedian Frankie Boyle calls them, the political wing of the Old Testament. Now, I'm not there yet, but I almost feel sorry for them. They believed the Tories, and the Tories lied to them. They put their trust in Boris Johnson, and he threw them right under a big red bus. But while the party is Protestant, it's almost Catholic in its belief of self-flagellation, and it keeps coming back for more, it seems. Here we have the sad and frankly embarrassing spectacle of Sammy Wilson of the DUP showing his undying love for the Conservative Party. A xenophobic party, but don't worry, Sammy will prove his loyalty when it comes to foreigners.
Deputy Speaker, I suspect that there are more asylum seekers housed in my constituency than in the constituency of many who have been hectoring the Secretary of State this afternoon.
So when he means the Secretary of State, he's talking about Priti Patel here, of course. So you have more experience, you understand asylum better than people who are criticising Priti Patel, who are saying, Priti Patel, this is inhumane. So Sammy Wilson is saying, no, those people don't know asylum. I know it because I have more asylum seekers in my constituency. Is that what he's trying to say? I'm trying to be as generous as possible because another take could be, look at all the asylum seekers I have. Those people criticising Priti Patel, they don't have many at all. which could give a different spin, as in asylum seekers are something negative to have in your constituency. But let's hear what else he has to say.
And I've heard their stories, and I know the misery which is caused by people trafficking and the desperation of those who hand over huge amounts of money and risk their lives to get into the United Kingdom. And therefore I do support the Secretary of State's aim and object to wreck this evil trade.
Now, I don't know if you could hear, there's a man on the right of the screen. His name is Colm Eastwood, and he's a SDLP MP, and he says something about Sammy Wilson. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'll go back so you can try and hear it.
For huge amounts of money and risk their lives to get into the United Kingdom. And therefore I do support the Secretary of State's aim and object to wreck this evil trade.
Of course you support this. Of course you support the Tories. Whenever the Tories come up with a new policy, especially if it's a xenophobic policy, Sammy Wilson in particular supports it. Now, I'm not sure if all the DUP support the Conservatives in these xenophobic policies, but Sammy Wilson usually does. Why is that?
But the question I want to ask is this: Secretary of State, if there is a lengthy processing procedure, and if at the end of that a very small percentage of those who are processed are actually left the country, do the people smugglers still not have an argument that it is worth your while handing over money to us and risking your lives?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. What I'd say in response to the honourable gentleman, there are a number of points that he's made, and he's made them incredibly well, actually, about the human misery and the way in which people's lives are put at risk is absolutely shocking and it's tragic. We want to stop that and break that, and we have to do that upstream, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's not good enough to wait for it to come to the shores of the United Kingdom or to the coastline of France. It is simply too late, and that is why there is a whole array of work taking place, and has been, but has been redoubled now, working with intelligence and security partners upstream and with different governments as well, so that we can target those gangs, intercept those gangs, and also prosecute them, not just in our country, but actually in other countries further upstream.
What is she talking about upstream here? How are you going to prosecute these gangs upstream? You're talking, this whole policy is about punishing the victims here, the people who have handed over money to these gangs. And it seems a big problem, a big plot hole here, a big problem with this policy is that by focusing, as they say, on young men, well, the people smugglers will say, well, let's, instead of sending young men, let's send women and children instead. So if you want to get into the country, don't send young men, send women and children. Wow, isn't that a victory there? So, does she not understand? Well, of course she understands that her policy will not work, but it's not designed to work. It's designed to keep the racists and bigots happy. That's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to stop the people smugglers. It's not designed to help these victims. It's designed to keep racists and bigots happy, or at least less angry with the Conservative Party. And it seems polling is pointing in that direction, that it seems to be working. So the shift will move from all refugees to young men, which will free up the people smugglers to exploit women and children. Wonderful Priti Patel. Wonderful Sammy Wilson. I hope you're happy with yourselves. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.